Hi, everyone, and welcome to the next interview of the Masters of Manifestation Online Summit 2020. Today, we are with Mathilda. Mathilda, thank you very much for being here.
Hello.
Mathilda is a visual storyteller. I really love the work that she's doing, and she's a former client of mine. So we will have a discussion about what we did together in terms of work and in terms of manifestation in order for her to manifest her desires. So Mathilda, you're in France right now, and I will give you 5 minutes to introduce yourself with your own words to the audience so that they can get to know who you are, your background, what you studied, and why you decided to follow that desire of being a visual storyteller.
Okay. My name is Mathilda PERROT. I live in Lyon, in France. Um, I've been studying graphic design and advertising. And as long as I know, I've always been like a picture creator, like I like to say, because I started to draw when I was a child. Then I I started photography maybe 10 or 13 years ago. And I was always using photography when I was doing my graphic design work for school. So yeah, when during my studies, we were trained to be
Mhm.
an employee. But sometimes some freelancers were coming to the school to talk about their lives. And I was like, oh, I think it's the way I want to live, but I don't think it's possible just when I finish my studies because I don't know how to do. So
Mhm.
when I finished, I was looking for a job. And as a creative person, when I met creative director in an advertising agency, he said to me, "Yeah, Mathilda, but I love your work, but we're not hiring anyone. So maybe you can be a freelancer for us, and we can call you when we need you." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, maybe why not?" So actually, I started like this, and just it was hazardous. It wasn't expected because I started to have clients and I wasn't looking for them because I didn't know how to do it. So
Mhm.
I started to have a lot of work like this just by meeting some persons like this, like in my everyday life. And after a few months, I was so full of work that I was okay, Matilda. So now you don't need to find for a regular job because your life is way better like this. And actually, it's everything that you wished for when you were studying. And yeah, having like a job as an employee makes no sense to you. So you don't have to look for it anymore. And that's how I started.
Okay, that's a great story, and I recognize you in that story, knowing you, um, because you're full of positivity and optimism all the time. Can be subconscious sometime, and so you had that first idea and desire to be independent, to not be an employee, but you didn't know how to do it, and boom, it showed up in your life.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Did you like when that person told you that, oh, you could be a freelancer for us because we're not hiring right now?
Yeah.
Did you have some fears or limiting beliefs before to officially start your own company?
Actually, not because I thought it was like just for a moment. It's
Okay.
not like if I wanted to start by myself, by on my own, like directly, like okay, I want to start a company by myself. If I started like this, maybe I would have been afraid. But because it was, yeah, you can do it. In my head at this moment, I did it because it was like just for a short moment before I find a job.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, it's better than nothing. So I started like this. So I wasn't afraid of anything, because I was also doing like what's the word for this, like a tiny job or little job, or like giving some paper at the in the street, and I was doing this just to pay my rent. So I was like, okay, I can pay my rent. My parents are still helping me because I was 21 at this moment. And yeah, I was like, okay, I can just start like this, and if I can have some money before I can find a job, it's okay. So I didn't have any fears about this, because for me it wasn't meant to be like a beginning of a career as a freelancer at this moment.
Okay. So when did limiting belief, fears, or self-sabotaging stories start to show up in your entrepreneurial journey?
I would say maybe after a year, or maybe a year and a half, because during the first year everything was really fine. I was meeting a lot of people, because I was also in a new city, because I did all my studies in the north of France. So I had just changed the city, so I didn't know anyone. But yeah, I was meeting a lot of people, and all these people were, oh, Mathilda, I know someone who's looking for someone, so maybe. And I was just full of work for a year, and I was actually meeting some of the freelancers that were telling me, oh, Mathilda, life as a freelancer is so hard. I don't know how to do it. And actually, I wasn't understanding what they were telling me. I was like, why? It's so easy. I don't get it. But yeah, after a year, it started to be more quiet. And then I was like, oh, that's how it feels when you don't have work just like this. And I realized that I didn't know how to get clients, and I didn't know anything about marketing, about all these things. And I was like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do if I don't do anything, because now I'm pretty sure that I don't want a regular job. I don't want to be an employee. I want to stay a freelancer. And yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Okay. So that's not a usual story, because usually people start by I don't know how to do it, and yeah, I'm struggling from the beginning because I have to draft everything out of scratch. But
Yeah.
it's not how it happened for you. I believe it's because you were in perfect alignment with what you wanted to do. It's like express your creativity, and and then people came to you easily.
Yeah, I guess
And
so.
those people who had the belief that it was hard experienced a hard life, and you didn't have that in mind, so for you it was easy. So do you think that because you talk with some freelancer who told you that it's hard, that you maybe somehow unconsciously starting to believe that it would end up hard later?
Maybe. Actually, I don't really know, because now it's a long time ago, so I can't really analyze my thoughts. But maybe it's something like this. Maybe, I don't know. I couldn't explain.
Okay, so what happened next?
Then after this, I was like, okay, I need to know more about marketing, because I don't know how to get clients. And I had what is the name of this? It's not a training. It's like it was like a boot camp with 10 other people, and it was like to learn like the basics of freelancing. So it was 4 days boot camp, very when we were learning many things about positioning, about negotiation, about pricing, about all the status thing. So I've learned a lot. when I did this. And after this, so the first thing is that I met some other great freelancers, and they're still friends today. We're still friends. And I had a lot of work because of them, because we were like 10 people, but from different areas. So I was with like another videographer, with a graphic designer, with a content manager, with many other people. So after this, I was in a very good energy, and I also had a lot of work. After this, like 4 to 6, 7, 8, 9 months after this, I was very high in my energy, and I worked for many clients on many very, very passionate subjects. So for me, it was done. It was okay. Like, okay, now it's all good. I don't have to do anything left. So yeah, this experience was really interesting. Then, yeah, I would say maybe also after a year, it started to just go down again.
Okay. So it happened 2 times that you're doing what you love, but suddenly there is no more work. Was it because the first time it because you wasn't looking for it, people came to you? The second time, were you looking for clients, or it was the same time you were like full of work and you didn't take time to market and sell yourself?
It was exactly the same as the first time, actually. But maybe I think I just gained confidence. I just gained confidence. And yeah, also I had some new contacts because of all these boot camps. So they were all calling me like, oh, Mathilda, I need you for this and for this, and for graphic design, for photography. And they were bringing me some of the clients. And actually, I think I was a little bit better in marketing. So I knew a little bit better how to talk about myself, and yeah, something like this. So I knew I had improved my skills, but yeah, I wasn't looking for anything still.
Okay. There is something funny happening behind you.
Oh, yes.
Great. So and one day you decided to go to Bali. So not to live in Bali like a lot of digital nomads, but to go for what I call a staycation. It's like experiencing the life somewhere else for a while. So at what point did you do that in this story?
It was after 3.5 years before I started to be a freelancer. And actually it was a very hard time of my life, because it was another like down moment. And yeah, I wasn't working so much, and it was pretty hard with money. And actually I've decided, because the year before, in 2018, I've been in Thailand for more than 2 months, for 10 weeks. And after this experience, it was my first experience out of Europe. After this experience, I decided that I would never spend one summer in Lyon again. So this year, in 2019, this year, I decided to go to Bali. I was like, okay, now I want to go there, and I will go alone. But when the time approached, I was like, okay, but I don't have so many clients, and I don't have so much money. I'm not sure if I can pay my rent in 6 months. Is it reasonable to go to Bali right now? But as I'm a very good, what's the word for this? Optimizator? I don't know if it exists. Optimizator. I'm a good person with optimization.
Yeah. Yeah, let's call it that way.
I'm a good person in optimization, and I was like, okay, but I can go to Bali if I manage like to subrent. It's subrent, yeah, my apartment and all these kind of things. It's not gonna be more that if I stay the whole summer in France. So I did that. I subrented my apartment to a student for the month when the month and a half I was in Bali. Then I decided to come to Bali anyway, even if I didn't have any money. I was like, I don't know, I just need this. I need to have this experience, and I don't care about what happened next. I'll see later.
Okay. So you were in that place where you made a decision that is not rational, that is not logical, because your analytical mind was telling you like, no, don't do that. How are you going to pay your rent in 6 months? I mean, you're crazy to do this kind of thing. So all this side of you that could tell you no, but there is that other side of you that said yes. It's the calling, the feeling that it's the right thing to do, the intuition.
Yeah.
What what helped you to overcome the irrationality and non-logical decision that you made to follow your inner calling to go to Bali?
I think what helped me to take this decision is the solution that I could find to get uh, reassured.
Yeah.
What's the word? Yeah, to get reassured. I was like, okay, if I find someone to rent my apartment for 2 months, it's all good because it's covering the plane tickets and a part of the flat in Bali. And if I'm in Bali, I'm not gonna spend more than what I spend in Lyon. So it's gonna be all good. If I have to pay like 200 or 300 more, it's all good for a month and a half of vacation. It's quite amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought it this way, and I was like, okay, if I do it like this, it's all good. But I had another fear. I was like, and if I don't find anyone for renting my apartment, and I don't know, something just changed in my mind. I was like, okay, I don't care. If I don't find anyone, I don't care. I'm gonna pay the amount anyway. I don't care. But I don't know. In my I had this thought that I will find I would find someone anyway. I was like, I'm sure I'm gonna find someone. And I wasn't afraid about it. And maybe 2 days before I go, I find a person to rent my apartment for from my departure to my coming back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
from,
Yeah.
the, from the beginning to the end,
To the
I
end.
find the same person 2 days before I leave. So I was certain I would find her.
Yeah. That's a beautiful unconscious manifestation. Um, you could have closed the opportunity to go to Bali. You could have tell yourself, like you could have let your fears and limiting beliefs winning by saying, oh, I'm going to run out of money. I should not go there. So I'm not going to go there, and then close the case.
Yeah,
But you open yourself to solutions. So instead of saying, I cannot or I'm too afraid to do it, you open yourself to a solution, and that solution came to you,
yeah,
and it's 2 days before you left. So that's a beautiful sign and insight, saying to people that no matter what is happening to you, if you focus on that thing, nothing great will occur. If you focus on possibilities, solution, opening doors, even just in your mind, then you're
yeah,
you're creating space for those things to show up in your life.
yeah. And I think one of the most important things is to be open to the worst, because every time I was certain that it would happen, I was also okay with the worst situation. Like okay, I'm sure I'm gonna find someone, but if I don't find anyone, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. And I
Mhm.
think it was also because of this, because I accepted all the situations, and I wanted to focus on the best one, but I was also okay with the worst one.
Okay. So when you were in Bali, you you decided to follow your intuition again and to come to an event where we met.
Yeah.
So what's what was that intuition? What was that feeling that allowed us to meet?
Actually, I was in Bali for a week, and I spent the first week in Ubud, and it was just a day when I was arriving in Canggu. It was my first day in Canggu, and I didn't know anyone. I had just one friend in Ubud from my first week, and I was like, okay. I was a little bit depressed this day, like, oh my god, what did I do? I should have stayed in Ubud, and I was afraid about many things.
Just for people who don't know Bali, Ubud
Yeah.
and Canggu are two cities in Bali,
Mm.
who are kind of digital nomad spot where you have a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of personal and professional development activities, can even spiritual activities. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep going.
And so yeah, I was like, okay, so now I need to meet new people right now. And I just checked on Facebook all the events I could find, and I found your event. And I don't know, I felt like it was interesting. I don't remember exactly the name, but I saw that it was about the law of attraction and more things, but it's the thing that I had in mind at this moment, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a subject I know, but maybe it can be interesting, so let's go there. And I was also maybe curious. I saw your name, I was like, I think it's French. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just and also there was a barbecue the same night, and I
Mhm.
was like, okay, so it's a great thing. This way I can go to the event, then stay for the barbecue. This way I'm certain to meet people. So let's go there.
Great. And then it clicked there because you decided to meet again. Um, and you decided to have a free sessions with me at the time when I was still offering
Yeah,
free sessions.
yeah.
Um, so what what made you make the decision?
To work with you.
Hmm. Yeah,
I think
because I just want to repeat the thing that you were financially insecure
yeah,
at the time. Um, you didn't know how you were about to pay your rents like in 3 4 months after, but you still decided to invest in yourself and in this coaching opportunity to manifest your desire. So yeah, I'll let you explain what was the process for you.
yeah. Actually, it was also something very. It's a decision that I made like very quickly, because during all our free sessions, I think I was just very grateful that you could help me, but I wasn't intended to work with you, because for me it was clear that I couldn't afford it. So I was like, oh, that's great, because I remember before to come to Bali, since already a few months, I was like, oh, I would really like to work with a coach, because I feel like I need one right now, because I can't do everything on my own and I need someone to help me, because everything I did since the beginning, it's just go up and go down, because I'm just dependent on the situation around and the people coming to me. So when people
Mm,
come to me, it's all good. And when people stop coming to me, I'm just going down again, and it's always the same thing. So I knew I needed some help, but I was trapped, because I was like, I know I need someone, but I can't pay the person because I don't have any money, because I don't have any work. So it was like a problem, and I couldn't find any solution for this problem. So when you offered me these free sessions, I was like, oh, I'm very grateful, because I met a coach like I asked, but
Mhm.
I'm certain that I won't work with him because I can't pay him. I can't do it. So yeah, maybe we had like 3, 4 sessions, maybe something like this. And I think I just changed my mind, but at the very last moment, when we had our last session in my last week, and yeah, you asked me if I wanted to work with you. I don't really remember how you did this, but I don't know, something just changed in my mind. And I remember I told you like, yeah, I would really like to work with you, but I don't know if I can afford it because I have the money to pay for your services. I can invest, but if I don't have a return like immediately, I can pay my rent next month. So it was a very, very, very huge risk. And yeah, I don't know. I just needed a few days to think about it. And yeah, I remember I was maybe at the airport or in the plane, or just it was the day after I was back. No, it was in the airport. And I sent you a message like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. I want to do it. And yeah, I don't know. I had this feeling that it was the right thing to do. So I was like, okay, let's take the risk. I want to do it. And the funny thing is that when I just landed in France, I had a call. I wasn't even in my apartment from a client that wanted to work with me. So okay, good. And like 2 days after this, so we didn't even started to work
Start.
together, you and me. Like 2 days after I got back in France, I went back. Went back. I signed 2 contracts, and each of them was the exact amount of money I need to invest with you. So like, okay, so with the first one, I can pay I can pay you, and with the second one, I can pay my rent. So it was quite crazy.
That's beautiful. Like your life is full of those synchronicities. Like each time you follow your intuition, there
Yeah,
is that click, that synchronicity that happen, kind of not immediately in terms of seconds, but in a short period of time.
yeah,
And something that I realize with other clients too, it's what I'm used to say now. It's like when people contact me, they do 1/3 of the work. When they say yes to working with me, they do the second third of the work. And the third and last one is the actual work that we're doing together. But there
yeah,
are already a lot of synchronicities happening after clients say yes because you're committed, because
yeah,
you say yes, you're already sending out and releasing a very high energy because you're full of optimism and hope, and you can't wait to have result, etc. And boom, it starts to occur.
exactly.
So what was your desire at that time when we started to work together? What is that you wanted to achieve?
When we started, actually, I wanted just to have money to feel, what's the word for this? Like calm, not
Yeah,
stressed, to
chill.
just to put the stress away. I could say it like this because I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do. So yeah, my objective as at this moment, my goal was to just have some money to what's the word for this also? I don't know. But just to get my year okay.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was the
and
only
to feel
object.
better.
Yeah, to feel better about this, and yeah, just like this. Yeah.
So how much did you want to attract? How much did you want to manifest?
Mm, um, Actually, I don't really remember. I just wanted to do a better. I just wanted to have more than the year before.
Mhm.
So, and actually, I was pretty. I had like 9. Yeah, I think I had only gained like 9 thousands in an entire year, so it was quite nothing.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, I need maybe to go to 25, 30K just to be okay.
Hmm. That's what I remember. I remember there were a huge gap between where you were at that time. It was September
Yeah,
2019, and you had
yeah,
quite a, it's not huge, but a big gap in terms of financial goal that you had for the end of the year.
yeah,
Um, so you had 3 months to make, I think it was around 15, 20 K, something like that.
yeah. It was, yeah, 30. I think it was the objective.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Starting from
So
9.
yeah, starting from 9, and then you made it
Yeah,
in this short period of time. You made it. You
it was great.
manifested it. It means that you attracted all the ways to make it.
Yeah,
It works 100%. As I'm used to say, it's the law of attraction. It's like the law of gravity. If you jump, you come back to the ground. And when you send out the energy and the frequency that is aligned with what you want by experiencing it within first, by experiencing the reality that you want first, then that reality comes to you. So
yeah.
so in order to close that financial gap that was between where you were at the time in September 2020 to reach your goal for the end of the year, what
Yeah.
are the techniques that you used in order to manifest it?
Um, a lot of visualization, um, also some affirmations. Actually, it's just I started like a morning routine. I was doing like kind of morning routine before, but not exactly the same. So I also started a 5 minutes journal, like a
Mhm.
gratitude journal, and it helped me a lot with affirmations and also to be grateful. I think it's really important to be grateful. And yeah, it was all about starting these mornings with thoughts with about my goals, about gratitude for what was happening, about all these kind of things. And we also worked on my fears and limiting beliefs. And I think it was part, for me, maybe the most important part of the process,
Mhm.
because I remember I still have the papers that I wrote in on. And it was just the first thing was to identify the limiting beliefs. And yeah, I could see that I had a lot of them. And you helped me to work on it by just transforming from the negative form to the positive one. And it was crazy because yeah, maybe after 2 3 months when I read them again, I was like, oh yeah, I feel like it's not right anymore. It's completely changed. So it was just the fact of writing them, transforming them, and reading them again and repeating them every day. And it's changed my thoughts about it. So it helps a lot.
Okay. Yeah, there are those two parts. That is the work that you do on yourself, by yourself, with auto suggestion, affirmations, gratitude, visualization, and how to feel the reality you want before it happens. And there is
Yeah,
the work that we are doing during the coaching session by erasing the block, erasing the resistance that you put on your way subconsciously.
yeah,
So
clear.
if people are interested on this topic, for those of you guys who bought the premium package, you will have access to the same exercise that Mathilda did. By it consists on being clear on what you want, identifying what are your limiting beliefs and fears, like why do you think that you cannot have that, and to rewire those limiting beliefs by stating that, oh, I already achieved that reality. I already experienced that reality. So I'm no longer afraid of that. So you can go in that exercise and start the exact same process as Matilda did in order to experience a quantum leap, a financial quantum leap in your business. So with the work we've been doing together, plus the work you've been doing on your own daily with affirmation and visualizing your desired outcome, this is the first part of the law of attraction. Like, you're sending out the message to the universe. So what did the universe send back to you in order for you to achieve your desire?
I attracted clients that were in adequation with my limiting beliefs to make me work on it. And it was the interesting part, because I remember this client that I had, and it was like a millionaire coach, and I had to work on his visual branding, and we were working on his website and photographies. And it was very challenging to me, because I had to respect myself. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, to set
But
boundaries.
yeah, to set boundaries. And actually it was part of the problem in my life. And but because we did some work on it together, you and me, I was able to do it. And it was challenging me, because I was like, okay, he's a business coach, so I can't disappoint him. And I was always like surpassing myself, like, okay, I know I can't say that to him, because I'm gonna look like shit. And I want to look professional. And yeah, I need to do things like the right way. So it wasn't just like clients like the other times, it was this kind of clients, and they were also helping me work on myself. But it was also clients that didn't really care about the money. Like, before, I was attracting clients like, okay, Matilda, I don't have so much money, so can you do a price or something? And this time it was more about, yeah, if you show me the value, I don't care about the amount. So it was completely different. Um, and I attracted also some unexpected things. Like, for example, I was working on a shooting for an advertising, so with all the production team for the video, and I was the photographer for this. So it was quite new, but when you work on a project like this, you're always exposed to surprises, because after like a month, it was a big shooting, so it was for a big brand. And yeah, the big brand wants to communicate in the whole Europe, on the whole world. So when they came back, like, okay, Matilda, you need to tell us how much would it be if we want to use the pictures in the whole Europe or in the whole world. And I attracted some like unexpected amounts of money because of situations like this. At the beginning, it
Yeah.
just came on for just the shooting, but afterwards, it ends up like, okay, I need to use the pictures there and there and there. So it was always just
The
going
bill
up.
was going up, yeah,
Yeah,
rising.
yeah, yeah. So it was many situations like this.
Hmm.
And I would say a last thing, it was also because I wanted to improve my company. I wanted to be more premium. And I was like, okay, so I started a little bit of work with this training and this boot camp like 3 years ago now. But now I want to be very effective in this, and I know I need to build some real strong offers, because now I'm always doing a quote when I'm asked to. And if I build some strong offers, I'm going to be stronger, and it's going to be easier to sell my services. So I also bought a program during this time just to manage all these things that I was pushing away for many years because I was
Hmm.
too lazy to do it because it's very, very huge work. And I think our work together, with you and me, also, yeah, just put me in action to do this kind of work that I was pushing away from too long.
Yeah, yeah, you started to really focus on the business side of your business.
Yeah,
Because when we're an entrepreneur, we have the activity, the main activity that is what we are doing, the product and
yeah,
service that we're offering, but there is also the business part of the business
yeah,
behind that takes more time than the activity itself. That is very important.
yeah.
And
And yeah,
yeah, so the work we've been doing together helps you to reach that level where you decided to focus on the business of your business. See, I've been but not surprised because I knew it would happen, but I've been really happy for you when I saw all those things that you started to attract to you and clients that were at the level you wanted,
yeah,
kind of high quality clients. And about that bill that you say, like it's also I remember because you hired me again after
yeah.
the first time we worked together. You hired me again
To
um,
continue.
to coach you, yeah. And I remember that we kind of play. You kind of play, and you wanted to attract that 10,000 bill through that specific person. And I mean, it was not was not a serious goal. It was just to try something out. It was by not serious. I mean, it was not a long-term goal.
Yeah,
You said that it would be really really nice to attract a 10,000 bill through this person in 2 months,
yeah,
and then it happened in 3 weeks. I think there is like
yeah,
that guy contacted you telling you that the client you've worked for decided to change the bill, and in total it was around 10,000.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was for me. It was pretty funny actually, because I did that, and I remember I told you like, yeah, I want to do it. I think it can happen through this person in this way. And I remember you were telling me, Matilda, you don't have to focus especially on one person because you're limiting the possibilities about it. And it's not, you can try it like this, but I don't think it's the right way to do it.
Mhm, mhm.
And yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't know, but I don't know why. I was thinking about this specific situation. I couldn't explain why. So yeah, when I received the mail and it was asking me for extending the rights for the pictures worldwide, and I asked, yeah, it ended up like this.
Mhm.
It I was just amused. It was pretty funny just to see this.
Yeah, and I had the lesson from you at that time. That's what I like as a coach. Is as a coach, I learn and I grow from my clients as well. Each client and each session make me become a better coach. And I really remember that day where I told you like, yeah, Manchuda, you're limiting yourself. Like if you want to attract something through one specific person, and but yet it happened in a very very short period of time. So thank you for the lesson that you must listen to your intuition more than your coach
Yeah,
sometime
it
because
depends because you have to know that it's your intuition sometimes, it's not your mind that it's trying to.
mm, but as you say it was really strong, like you had that feeling that this person would be involved in your manifestation.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why. I can't explain.
That's the thing you cannot explain, but let's try to give an explanation. um, what is it for you, that feeling that is irrational and illogical? How would you describe it? Because we all have that. We all have a feeling, an intuition, a calling, and this thing is most of the time irrational and illogical. How would you
Yeah.
describe that feeling that you had and you still have inside?
I think this feeling is just you know it's irrational, you can't explain it, but you feel good about it. Like you're not afraid, you just feel like if you go there, it's gonna be okay. And it's the exact feeling that I had when I started to work with you, when I had to come to Bali, when I had to start as a freelancer, when I had to even choose the city where I did my studies. It was always the same kind of choice. When I moved for my studies, I moved in a city at the other part of France. I've never been there before. I haven't seen the school before, but I don't know. It felt right for me, and I just removed everything, all the schools in Paris and all over the country. I removed everything to put this one, especially that I didn't know, and where I've never been, and it was the best experience of my life, actually. I think it was the best choice I could do. So I don't know, it's just something that happens just like this, like
Mhm.
you're not thinking it, and just a second after you're thinking about it, and it's kind of obsessing, like you're like you can't remove it from your mind, and you're like, I don't know, I think it's the right thing to do. And your mind is like, no, it's not rational, you can't do this because of this. And I don't know, inside it's just like, yeah, but you don't care, you can go there, it's gonna be okay. And if it's not going okay, you don't care. It's
Mhm.
something like this, actually.
I I feel that. And in that, like from your own experience about manifesting, how important is it for you to have faith and to surrender?
Mm. Actually,
Hmm.
it's part of the process.
Yeah.
Because
But
if I,
how important is it in the process from your own perspective?
it's an obligation. Because
Okay.
if you don't have it, it can't work. Like if I just take all this example that I gave you, I think I followed my intuition because I had faith. If I didn't have didn't have faith, I wouldn't go for these callings, I would say.
Hmm.
So if I
Hmm.
don't have faith, I don't do anything, and nothing happens.
Okay. And about surrender, about letting go.
For me, it's also an obligation, because if you don't let go, like I said, when you have this kind of feeling that you should do something, but you see that it's not rational, if you just surrender to your thoughts, your limiting beliefs, like, yeah, no, for example, if I take Bali, if I didn't just let go my thoughts, I would have been like, no, I can't go there. I don't have the money. It's not reasonable to go there. End of the story. But
Mhm.
because I was able to have faith, like it's gonna be okay, and because I could surrender, like, okay, if I don't find anyone for my apartment, I don't care. I go anyway. And I think it was the two things that I needed to, yeah, to remove,
Hmm.
to
To
just
remove
to
the block.
go. I think both are important, faith and surrender, because you need to be ready to the positive things that could happen, and you need to be ready to see the bad things happen if it's not going really well like you
Hmm.
expected.
Okay. And do you think that doing the exercise that we did during the our coaching program, visualization, gratitude, visualization, did that help you to have more faith and to surrender more?
Mm, yeah, I think so, because before we started work together, I realized that I was doing it naturally in many situations, but the things the thing that I learned by working together is that now I can do it consciously.
Hmm.
So that's the really important thing, because before it was all like hazardous, but now I can focus more on what I want to attract and what I want to do. And I'm also able to correct myself when sometimes I'm like in some some bad thoughts, I can just take a step back and be like, okay, now it's not really the way I want to do this, and maybe I need to focus on something else and just change the
Yeah,
focus. So it
and do the
helped
inner
me
work
in this way.
again.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
helped me in this way to be more conscious about these things.
Okay, great. So I have two more questions for you, Mathilda,
Yeah.
for this interview. The first one is, if you knew that you could do something with a 100% chance of success, your success is guaranteed,
Yeah.
what would you do? What is that other desire, intuition, or calling that you would start to pursue right now?
Mm. For me, it's a very hard question because I there is nothing that I don't do because I think it's impossible. Because for me,
Mm-hmm.
everything is possible,
Mm-hmm.
and I can do whatever I want if I decide to. So there is nothing that I can really answer to this question because I'm not limiting myself to something. I don't know. For example, I have projects about buying some apartments to rent them, and like all the banks and persons around, because I'm a freelancer and because they need to check on all the money you had on the 5 last years. They're like, okay, Matilda, you're not able to what's the word for this? To have a loan? A loan? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it because you're a freelancer and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, yeah, you can do it. But I know I can do it because I have some friends in my situation already that are already owners of like 5 or 6, 7 apartments right now. So for example, not now I don't do it because I'm busy with some other things, but I know I can do this, but I just need to find how to do it.
Mm-hmm. You
So
attract
even
the how.
yeah, even if many people just say me that it's impossible, I don't believe it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like about you. You act as if your success is guaranteed all the time because you believe that it's guaranteed anyway. So
Exactly. The
there
only
is.
question is when. That's the
Mhm.
only question.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. And the last question is an advice. An advice for people who've been in your shoes before, people who have ideas, intuition, calling, like to make that tiny step that will literally change everything, but they haven't had the confidence, the faith, the courage to go for it yet. Or
Yeah.
people who maybe started to go for it, but kind of feel trapped in the how to get there, when it's going to happen, and start to feel hopeless. What would be
Yeah.
your best advice for those people from your own experience?
To do it anyway. I know it's really easy and it's easier to say it than to do it. But every time I'm feeling afraid to do something, I remember all the situations before when I listened to myself and amazing things happened. So if you're afraid to do something, like if it's a very big step, uh, first try to think about situations in your past when you just got out of your comfort zone and you were very proud of yourself. And try to find in your past situations like this where you have this intuition to do something and you did it, and at the end it was crazy. And this way maybe you can be just more confident to just to be like, okay, so maybe this time if I do the same, if I feel it's the right thing to do, maybe I can go there, maybe I can do it. And maybe if the goal is too big, start with a smaller one. If you're too afraid to do this one, maybe you can find another one to start with, just to be confident about the fact that you can actually do it. And I think that's many things that are happening in my life. Like, for example, if I take this example about the flats and the apartments that I want to buy,
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a first step coming right now because I want to have some money coming from many areas to get to be safe, if I would say it like
Mm-hmm.
this. And I was always interested in investments. And yeah, I think about it since maybe a year or two, but I'm so focused on my business right now that I don't have the time to learn about uh, yeah, how to buy a house, how to choose it, how
Mm-hmm.
to do all these kind of things, and how to invest my money. And I don't have any vocabulary in this area, so I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to explain it, but it's gonna be
So
okay.
to invest. Yeah, it's
To
okay.
invest, yeah, and about and now I attracted, like, since 2 weeks, many persons are telling me and about actions that you can buy in businesses. And actually, that's a first step in investments. And I was like, yeah, maybe it's the easier way to start to invest because I
Mm-hmm.
have some money, I can invest it in this business, and I don't have to take a loan for a house, for a full
Mm-hmm.
house. And now people are just calling me for this, like, Mathilda, it's time now. Do this and do this and do this. And I tell you how to do this and this and this. Okay, great. I'm asking for this kind of things for many times, but I was like, I don't have the time. So I attracted a solution where I don't have to learn anything. Just some people, very professionals about it, call me to tell me what to do exactly in 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay,
Perfect.
I ask for something that doesn't take time because I don't have the time now. But this way I still can start, and I will see later how to do it better.
That's beautiful. Another sign of
First nice step, the
yeah,
first small step before
yeah.
to go to the big one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To go in yeah, you can start small with smaller investment and it will bring you money. It's
Yeah,
supposed to bring you money. But I keep in mind that just do it, as Nike say, just do it,
yeah,
and it's beautiful, exactly because intuition is your spiritual calling. It's your intuition is the right thing to do, and
yeah,
if you have fears, it's a better sign that it's the right thing to do. Because when you have fears, it means that you desire something. If you're not afraid to do something, it means that there is nothing for you behind.
yeah,
So just do it, and the gathering of synchronicities like it happened with Mathilda will happen shortly after.
yeah. And actually, we can just go back from to the beginning of this conversation because all my professional friends alive started because I started to do it before I knew anything about it.
Mhm.
So sometimes just go do it, and if it's the right thing, it's gonna be amazing. And if it's not the right thing, you're gonna learn something that just gonna lead you to your real goals. So it's always a good thing.
Yeah, be excited about not failing, but yeah, I mean, if you want to be excited about failing, it's great, but about learning,
Yeah,
and you will learn no matter what happens.
exactly.
Thank you very much, Matilda. Thank you very much for your time and being open and vulnerable to share your story and what happened to you, and what happened during the manifestation journey together.
Yeah,
I
thank you for
appreciate that.
inviting me.
You're welcome. If people want to know more about you or to discover your work, or if you're interested in having your visual storyteller or to rework on your brand or having a photo shooting, you can click on the link on the email that announced this interview and you will be redirected to Matilda's social media.
Yeah.
Thank you again. I wish you to have a great day. And I look forward to hearing back from you again and maybe work again with you later.
Sure, me too.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
very much. Bye.